Naomi Osaka. Naomi Osaka, Seiga Naomi, Japanese pronunciation. Born October 16, 1997, is a Japanese professional tennis player. She has been ranked world No. 1 in singles by the Women's Tennis Association WTA and is the first Asian player to hold the top ranking in singles. Osaka is a four-time Grand Slam singles champion, with 2 Australian Open and 2 US Open titles. Her 7 titles on the WTA Tour also include 2 at the Premier Mandatory level. At the 2018 US Open and the 2019 Australian Open, Osaka won her first 2 major titles in back-to-back tournaments. She was the first woman to win successive major singles titles since Serena Williams in 2015, and the first to win her first 2 in successive majors since Jennifer Capriati in Japanese tennis player born 1997 for the documentary miniseries. See Naomi Osaka TV series. The native form of this personal name is Seiga Naomi. This article uses Western name order when mentioning individuals born in Japan to a Haitian American father and a Japanese mother. Osaka has lived and trained in the United States since age 3. She came to prominence at age 16 when she defeated former US Open champion Samantha Stosur in her WTA Tour debut at the 2014 Stanford Classic. 2 years later, she reached her first WTA final at the 2016 Pan Pacific Open in Tokyo to enter the top 50 of the WTA rankings. Osaka made her breakthrough into the upper echelon of women's tennis in 2018 when she won her first WTA title at the Indian Wells Open. Later in the year, she defeated 23-time Grand Slam singles champion Serena Williams in the final of the US Open to become the first Japanese player to win a major singles title. In mid-2021, suffering from depression and other issues, Osaka retired from the French Open, dropped out of Wimbledon, and lost early at the US Open. She closed down the rest of her tennis season to focus on family and health. From 2018 to 2021, Osaka won a major singles title in 4 consecutive years, with her streak ending in Osaka is one of the world's most marketable athletes, having been ranked 8th among all athletes in endorsement income in 2020. She was also the highest-earning female athlete of all time by annual income that year. Osaka has gained significant recognition as an activist, having showcased support for the Black Lives Matter movement in conjunction with her matches. She was named one of the 2020 Sports Illustrated Sportspersons of the Year for her activism, largely as part of her US Open Championship run, and was also included on Time's annual list of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2019, 2020, and 2021. Moreover, she was the 2021 Laurie's World Sportswoman of the Year. At the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, she became the first tennis player to light the Olympic cauldron during the opening ceremony. On the court, Osaka has an aggressive playing style with a powerful serve that can reach 201 kilometers per hour, 125 miles per hour. Playing style. Osaka serving. Osaka is an aggressive baseline player. She has excellent raw power, especially on her forehand and her serve. Osaka could hit 160 kilometers per hour, 100 miles per hour forehands at the age of 16, and her serve has been clocked at up to 200 kilometers per hour, 124 miles per hour, making her one of the 10 fastest servers on record in WTA history. While she can use her power to hit high numbers of winners, Osaka's key to success is to be able to win long rallies. One of the first notable instances in which that strategy proved successful was when Osaka made her first career WTA final at the 2016 Pan Pacific Open. Osaka credited improving her mental approach and cutting down on unforced errors for her breakthrough season in 2018. At the Wuhan Open towards the end of the year, she noted, "I think my biggest improvement is mental. My game is more consistent. There are not so many unforced errors. I'm not sure how many I hit today, but sometimes last year I was hitting a lot." She attributed some of these changes to her coach Sasha Bajan, saying, "Since I was working with and I tend to be a bit negative on myself, I feel like I've gotten a little bit more optimistic. I fight myself a lot, so he's sort of been like the peacemaker." Bajan also agreed with Osaka on the impact of having a patient, positive approach in each match. Coaches. Osaka was coached by her father Leonard Franois from the age of 3. Patrick Taml was one of her first coaches after she began playing on the ITF women's circuit. He was her coach in 2013 when she reached her first ITF final. In 2014, she spent 7 months training at an academy run by Harold Solomon, a former top 5 player and French Open finalist who has coached many top women's tennis players, including Jennifer Capriati and Mary-Jo Fernandez. Under Solomon, Osaka defeated Sam Stosur for her first WTA match win, following her loss at the 2016 U.S. Open where she could not convert a lead in the third set. The Japan Tennis Association helped arrange for David Taylor to be her new coach after the 2017 season. Osaka switched coaches to Sasha Bajan, who had previously served as a hitting partner to top players such as Serena Williams, Victoria Azarenka, and Caroline Wozniacki. With Bajan as her coach, Osaka won her first Premier mandatory title and 2 Grand Slam singles titles. She also rose to No. 1 in the world after having never previously been ranked above No. 40. Bajan was named the inaugural WTA Coach of the Year in 2018, shortly after her 2019 Australian Open title. Osaka surprisingly split with Bajan, saying she wouldn't put success over happiness. She hired Jermaine Jenkins to be her new coach from March until October. Jenkins had previously worked as a hitting partner for Venus Williams. Osaka temporarily replaced him with her father in September. She won her first 2 tournaments with him back as her coach. She subsequently hired Wim Fissette at the start of the 2020 season. Endorsements. Osaka is one of the most marketable athletes in the world. She earned an estimated $16 million in endorsements alone in 2019, which placed her second among female athletes behind only Serena Williams, who earned $25 million. The following year, she became the highest-paid female athlete of all time, having earned $37.40 million in total, including $34 million in endorsements. Overall, she was the 29th highest-paid athlete in 2020 and the 8th highest-paid athlete in endorsements alone. It has been Osaka's apparel sponsor since 2019, having replaced Adidas, who had sponsored her for 4 years. With Nike, Osaka has a clothing collection featuring her monogram logo that uses her initials and is inspired by the Japanese flag. The Japanese sporting equipment manufacturer Yonex has supplied her with rackets since 2008. She plays with the Yonex Zo 98 racket, equipped with Politor Pro 125 and Rex's 130 strings. Osaka has been represented by the IMG Management Company since 2016. In 2022, Osaka left IMG in order to set up her own sports management agency, Evolve, alongside her agent, Stuart Dugwood. On June 20, 2022, Osaka announced that she had signed Nick Kyrgios as her first client. Osaka is a brand ambassador for Japanese automobile manufacturer Nissan and Japanese electronics manufacturer Citizen Watch. She also endorses several other Japanese companies, including noodle maker Nissin Foods, cosmetics producer Shiseido, the broadcasting station WOO, and airline All Nippon Airways ANA. In January 2021, Osaka was named the brand ambassador for TAG Heuer watches, as well as for Louis Vuitton. She appeared in their Spring-Summer 2021 campaign. She is also endorsed by Beats Electronics, Body Armor Super Drink, MasterCard, Panasonic, FTX, PlayStation, Levi's, Airborne, Sweatgreen, Workday, and GoDaddy. Her endorsement portfolio was estimated to earn Osaka up to $60 million per year. As a result of FTX's $11 billion bankruptcy, Osaka was sued for her involvement. In February 2022, the U.S. 11th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in a lawsuit against Biconic that the Securities Act of 1933 extends to targeted solicitation using social media. Panasonic announced the signing of Osaka as brand ambassador in June 2021. She is a promoter of the Panasonic Green Impact Initiative alongside Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps and Olympic figure skater Nathan Chen. Panasonic enlisted the 3 celebrity athletes for its sustainability mission, and they were part of a campaign for climate change that included individual commercials and a commercial in which all 3 athletes are featured. Activism. Osaka has become a leading activist in professional tennis. Her decision to withdraw from the 2020 Cincinnati Open in New York to raise awareness for the police shooting of Jacob Blake led the tournament to postpone all Association of Tennis Professionals (ATP) and Women's Tennis Association (WTA) matches for a day in support of her cause. at the 2020 U.S. Open beginning the following week. Each mask she wore as she walked onto the court due to the COVID-19 pandemic prominently displayed the name of an African American who had been killed in the preceding few years, the majority in the year before the tournament, and the majority killed by police. She highlighted Breonna Taylor, Elijah McClain, Ahmaud Arbery, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Philando Castile, and Tamir Rice, and was praised directly by the parents of Martin and Arbery. Prior to these acts of activism, Osaka had also traveled to Minnesota to attend the protests of the murder of George Floyd. She outlined her personal reasons for supporting the Black Lives Matter movement and protesting against police brutality in an op-ed in Esquire magazine. Osaka was named a 2020 Sports Illustrated Sportsperson of the Year for her activism, alongside the year's other prominent activist sports champions LeBron James, Brenna Stewart, and Patrick Mahomes, as well as medical worker Laura Duvernay-Tardif. She was also honored as one of the Time 100 most influential people in the world in 2020 for her activism, having also been named to the list in 2019 for representing professional tennis well as an excellent role model and a major champion. Osaka's activism has drawn attention from the scholarly community studying celebrity and advocacy, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Osaka has been featured as the main character in a manga series published by Kodansha in Nikkeyoshi, a leading Japanese show magazine. The series is being drawn by Futago Kamakita and was made with the help of Osaka's sister Mari. The first edition appeared in the February 2021 issue of the magazine, which was released in December or in March 2021. Osaka spoke out against anti-Asian hate crimes. Personal life. Osaka has shy, reserved personality in her early years on the WTA Tour. Her former coach Sasha Bajan was initially confused by her personality, saying, "I thought she was a little bit more of a diva because she didn't talk much. She doesn't really look at someone's eyes. But that's just because she was always so shy. Back then I didn't know for what reason." Osaka is also very frank and is regarded as having a dry sense of humor. During her 2018 Indian Wells Open victory speech, she began by saying, "Hello, I'm Nam. Oh, never mind," and later noted, "This is probably going to be the worst acceptance speech of all time," after being worried about forgetting whom to thank and appearing to nearly forget to thank her opponent, Daria Kasatkina, as well as one of her sponsors. Osaka began a relationship with American rapper Corday in 2021. Osaka became a co-owner of the North Carolina Courage in the National Women's Soccer League, the top level of women's soccer in the U.S. Osaka is an investor in a professional pickleball team which will be based in Miami, Florida, beginning in May 2022. Osaka announced after being represented by IMG for 6 years, she is partnering with her agent, Stuart Dugwood, to form her own sports agency, Evolve. Her contract with IMG expired at the end of 2021, and the renewal talks were stalled. Osaka and Dugwood will have equity stakes in the agency, and it will only be representing a few clients in January 2023. Not long after withdrawing from the Australian Open, Osaka revealed that she was pregnant with her first child. As part of the announcement, Osaka confirmed she hoped to return to tennis sometime in Osaka has suffered with depression since the 2018 U.S. Open. In May 2021, she refused to take part in required press conferences during the French Open and was subsequently fined $15,000 and threatened with expulsion from the tournament. On May 31, Osaka withdrew from the event to deal with her mental health and well-being. Less than a month later, she also pulled out of Wimbledon, citing she is taking some personal time with friends and family. She attempted to come back for the Olympics, but the pressure of returning to the limelight was a factor in her third-round loss in September at the U.S. Open. She lost to Lyle Fernandez and in the process threw her racket 3 times and received a code violation for firing a ball at the spectators. Afterwards, she said, "I'm not really sure why, and recently I feel very anxious when things don't go my way." Osaka then announced she was taking an indefinite break from the sport. Later in 2021, she shared with Victoria's Secret that she is being helped by therapy, her dog, calming music, and slowing down. At the 2022 Indian Wells Open, a heckler unsettled Osaka to the point of tears, after which she had to seek therapy. She said the consistent therapy really helped and she is better prepared for incidents in the future. In an interview in May 2022, Osaka shared that while there have been ups and downs, she feels very content with her mental health journey.